Hey friends, my name is George Gianaris. I'm a chef for 36 years, and if you're here, it's because you like to eat healthy, save money, and cook like a pro. Seafood A La Wando. What the is it? We went to Charleston, South Carolina with a bunch of friends, and we went to this place. This is Hank's Seafood, and I have never had better seafood anywhere else in my life. After browsing the menu, my friends were like, "Hey George, what's Seafood A La Wando?" And I was like, "Are you kidding me? You don't know what A La Wando is?" I had no idea. I decided that I'm gonna make this dish, but I'm gonna make it healthier, and I'm gonna kick off a new series here on A Warehouse Chef called But Healthier. See, Seafood A La Wando was absolutely delicious as it was, but I'm not a big fan of wheat flour, and I'm not a big fan of corn. If you watch this channel, you should know that. So I'm gonna make this dish with healthier ingredients. So here's my version of Seafood A La Wando. We're gonna make enough Seafood A La Wando to feed 4 Greeks. We eat a lot. You start by peeling a pound of shrimp. These are wild-caught 13-15 shrimp, so there is, you guessed it, 13 to 15 shrimp in a pound or half a kilo. You want to add the shells to a pot of about 3 cups or 700 milliliters of water and simmer. Also add about a teaspoon of organic chicken base to the pot. Add 3 strands of saffron per person, or in this case 12 strands to the simmering water. There's no need to soak the saffron in advance in this particular case, but you can if that's what you're used to doing. Traditionally, these are made with ground grits. I avoid corn, so I'm going to substitute the grit cake with a zucchini fritter. This dish cooks quick, so let's make our fritters while the stock is simmering. You want to grate 2, maybe 3 medium zucchinis, season them with salt, and let it sit for about a half an hour, and the salt will draw out the moisture. Finally, mince 1 shallot. Traditionally, when you make yourself a zucchini fritter, you're going to use goat cheese, but the goat cheese is not going to go well with this dish at all. So you want to use a neutral, dense, crumbly cheese, and I'm using Greek manuri cheese, which is pretty bland. It has a nice flavor to it, but not too much of a flavor. You could use like a strained farmer's cheese. You can even use cream cheese if you want, or no cheese at all. You're going to crumble a 1/4 cup or 60 milliliters of manuri cheese and set it aside. Place your zucchini in the center of a towel or cheesecloth and squeeze out as much moisture as you can. To the strained zucchini, we're going to add our manuri cheese, shallot, and 2 beaten eggs. And a half a cup of organic almond flour. Form these into cakes, about 1/4 cup or 60 milliliters each. Add about 2 or 3 tablespoons of organic avocado oil to the pan. Get the temp over 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 176 degrees Celsius. A link to this gem of a thermometer is in the description below. Cook them until they're nice and crisp on each side. It's gonna take about 3 or 4 minutes. It turns out that the Wando River was renamed Cooper River, so I'm imagining that the dish is a tribute to the indigenous fresh fish in the Wando River. I went to my local fish market and I looked for some fresh fish that resembled the texture of the grouper and drum in Hank's Seafood A La Wando. So I purchased blackfish or tautog because it's in season. Start by sauteing your shrimp with a little butter and olive oil. You don't want dark here because it's going to darken your sauce. Replenish the pan with a little more butter and oil and saute up a pound or 225 grams of a flaky fish like grouper or orange roughy. I'm using blackfish. These are pecanic-based scallops. They are indigenous to the region I live in. They're incredibly sweet and delicious. The close second, not really that close, is a Peruvian-based scallop, which is also very sweet. So when you choose your scallop, choose a base scallop that's sweet. Now let's get back to cooking. Same thing here. Replenish the pan with a little butter and olive oil and saute 1 pound or 225 grams of scallops lightly. Complete recipe is on my website, awarehousechef.com. You want to add about 2 sliced mushrooms per person, so 8 cremini organic mushrooms along with 2 scallions. Deglaze the pan with about a 1/4 cup or 60 milliliters of a nice dry sherry and boil off the alcohol. Add enough butter to the pan to have approximately a 1/4 cup or 60 milliliters and bring the temperature up to a medium heat. You can make a roux with gluten-free flour. It's going to behave more like a thickening agent than a traditional wheat flour roux. Whisk in 3 tablespoons or 30 milliliters of Bob's Red Mill 1-to-1 gluten-free flour so that it looks like loose mashed potatoes. Ladle in the stock until it resembles the thickness of New England clam chowder and add a drizzle of heavy cream until it whitens. All right, let's give this bad boy a taste here. That tastes exactly like the Seafood A La Wandos at Hank's. His sauce was a little lighter. You can make a lighter sauce by sauteing up the roux without any of the reduction from the pan, but that gives it just an amazing flavor. I want to taste the fritter here. It's definitely not as crunchy as Hank's. Delicious. It really complements the dish nicely. The menudo cheese is not very powerful at all. I still think it would be better with the grit fritter, the grit cake, but this is nice. There's no corn in this dish. It's all organic. There's no flour. If you're ever down in South Carolina, definitely go visit Hank's Seafood. Let me know how you like his Seafood A La Wando. Give this a try. If you haven't been to Charleston, South Carolina, go. Spread the love, hit that like button. Let me know how your dish turns out, and let me know your experiences down in South Carolina. Leave a message down below. We'll see you again soon.